Hey everybody, it's Dakota, and today I got a treat for the BJJ community who are trying to get their leg triangles easier. So I've noticed that there's a lot of stiffness in the realm of jiu-jitsu and just any realm, there's a lot of stiffness. So when you have stiff legs and stiff hips, it's hard to get in that leg triangle position. So this flow today is going to help you get there with ease. So to start us off today, we're going to meet in child pose. So go ahead and bring your knees wide. So if you're on a yoga mat, bring them as wide as the yoga mat goes. Walk the hands out in front and drop the chest down. And from here, we're just going to wiggle left and right. So we're not holding this child pose still. We're giving some rock. So what we're going to do here is really just massage the hip flexors, some of the hip fascia, and just rocking left and right. You might feel some stuff rolling over top of one another and it just feels good. Just kind of massaging it out with your own body. And from here, maybe walk the hands up, bring the knees in just a little bit closer and do that same thing here. Again, just rocking left and right. You feel the compression from the ribs and legs meeting, just massaging out the area. Great, and after that, we're gonna inhale, roll forward into an up dog or seal pose. And we're gonna exhale, bring it all the way back into child pose. One more of those. Inhale, come forward, just lubricating the hips before we start spicing things up. Exhale, send it back, child pose. Let's do hip circles now. Inhale, let's go up to the right with the hips. Exhale, bring it back to the left. So we're just doing big circles here. Inhale, up to the right. Exhale, back to the left. Let's switch directions this time. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. So just lubricating the SI joint, both hip joints, and even the low back a little bit, all of it. Great. On your next inhale, roll all the way up. We're going to come into an up dog, so pick up the knees. Exhale, let's come into a down dog. Hips up and back, and pedal it out here. So we're going to do a lot of leg flexibility that targets our piriformis muscle. So that is right below the glutes. It's the muscle right below the glutes that causes our low back to round and stay tight. And it's what causes us to not, pull the ankle up and get that little twist to come to that triangle to where we can lock the foot behind the knee. So just pedal it out here, one more breath. We're gonna work in that piriformis muscle. So from here, let's inhale, bring this right foot up to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the knee in between the hands and set it down. And drop the ankle almost right under, but give a little twist to the left, not much, and we're gonna come down. So this is what we call pigeon pose. So once we're at our pigeon pose, I want you to flex this right foot. So give a nice flex here, pulling the toes to the knee. And once we get here, we're just rocking left and right. Just seeing how this feels. So already, we're just protecting this knee by engaging this foot. But already you might feel a stretch here in that piriformis muscle that we were just talking about. And if so, if you're really tight here, you might need a block here. A block would go under the right hip. That would be where you go, just where you can square the hips up. But once you're good here, we're gonna bring the hands up. So bring the hands up to heart center. If this is too hard, maybe bring it back. It helps you a little bit. We're just gonna hold here for 2 breaths. I want you to press this knee down, press this left foot down, squeezing the legs together. Maybe reaching the hands up, last inhale. And then exhale, let's find a forward fold. So just rock forward. Maybe you come to your forearms. Maybe you come all the way down to your chest. And again, I want to wiggle left and right here. So we're just getting warmed up, just kind of getting the muscle fascia loosened up here, a little lubricated before we start, picking up the pace and picking up the intensity of the stretches. Awesome. On your next inhale, let's make our way back up. And as you exhale, let's kick this right foot back. Lean down to a Chaturanga, lower push-up. Inhale, up dog, press it up. Exhale, down dog. Left side this time. Inhale, reach the foot up, nice and high. Exhale, knee to nose as you press the knee down, and just bring the foot to that comfortable position where you feel good. So again, I'll give you a good view of this. You just find where your hips are square. And again, if this sags you too much to the side and your hips are just way too tight, you bring the block on that left thigh. But wherever you're at, we're breathing here. Your chest is lifted up. Maybe give a little rock left and right. And once you feel good, we're going to bring some activation to the stretch. So press the left knee down, press the right knee down, bring hands up. A little flexion of the low back. Again, maybe the hands come behind you, makes it a lot easier. and just feel the legs pull towards one another. So you're engaging that left piriformis muscle, all those muscles that are tight. We're gonna use them here to stay upright. On your next inhale, let's bring the hands up to the ceiling maybe. And then exhale, find a forward fold. You might come down to your forearms, you might come down to your chest. It's up to you, but wherever you're at, I want you to wiggle left and right. So again, we're still just massaging out the fascia, massaging out those areas that we're gonna really stretch here in one moment. And again, if you're tight in your hips and those muscles, like this is a hard stretch right here alone. So on your next inhale, let's bring it up, lift the chest up. On the exhale, step that foot back, come into your Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhaling up dog, exhale down dog. Once you get here, pedal out for a few breaths. Just pedal it out. Again, it's all about the hips today, that piriformis muscle. So maybe let's bend this right knee, straighten out the left knee, send the hips over to the right. Feeling that stretch in the left side body, the different parts of the outer edge of that left leg. Feels good. Let's come to the other side, straighten out the right leg, bend the left knee. That right hip goes over to the left side this time. Reaching long to the right side body and feeling those different parts of that right leg getting a nice stretch. Wonderful. Coming back up to the center. Finding one breath here to yourself. Great. Let's inhale, bring this right foot up to the ceiling. As you exhale, step the foot down in between the hands this time. And we're going to inhale, come into a lunge pose. We're going to hold this just for a few breaths. Again, the only reason we're going to hold this is to warm up the undersides of the legs. So you can't just do all the stretching without, getting the body warmed up, getting it ready for it. Or otherwise, you just pull some things. So one more breath here. Awesome. On the exhale, let's bring the hands to heart center. Lean forward for your warrior three. 2 breaths here, strong right leg. And again, to reach the chest forward, you might feel a nice little hamstring stretch right away. And that's good. Keep it there. One more exhale. On an inhale, let's stand up with this. We're going to hug this left leg in like pigeon pose. So just like pigeon pose, we're going to hug this left knee up, engage this left foot, grab the foot with the right hand, and bring it up like so. So you got a slight rotation of the foot or the leg. So the shin's diagonal. We don't want to keep it up parallel. We want a small rotation, just like that triangle that we're going to be working towards at the end of this class. You'll see where we're going here in just a moment. So just pulling it up, one more inhale. As you exhale, let go of that foot, kick it back into your warrior three. Keep good balance. Steadily drop the left foot down. Inhale, come up into your lunge pose. And now what we're going to do is exhale, twist to the right here. 2 breaths. Strong legs, staying firm. Got this. We flip the left hand. As you inhale, reverse it. Lift the left hand high. Pause here. Breathing. One more inhale. As you exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. You step the right foot back. Inhale. Bring the right knee up to the ceiling. So we're in the side plank here. And as you exhale, we're going to bring this knee to the top of the mat, come into our pigeon pose here. So we're going to drop the hip down. This time, before we had our ankle a little bit more under us, I want you to open it up a little bit more this time. So bring this foot up maybe just about 2 to 3 inches. Flex the foot, round the hip. If you can't round the hip all the way, the block comes under the right thigh. And we breathe here. So now I got a little bit more space here, and I feel more of stretch in that piriformis muscle. If you feel good enough, bring hands up. Now we bring that activation to this pose, a little flexion of the low back, but use your leg as well. Inhale, bring the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, let's find a forward fold. Maybe on your forearms, maybe down on your chest. So we really feel the stretch this final pose, or this final variation, I guess, in this forward fold. The main thing of this is dropping the belly button forward. That's where you're going to feel the stretch. The back and chest can be really anywhere, but where the belly button goes, that's where the spine is directed, and that's where you feel it stretch. So kind of pull and drop the belly button down forward here. You'll really feel that stretch in that piriformis muscle on the underside of the right leg. Oh, that's lovely. On the next inhale, let's make our way back up. As you exhale, come into your Chaturanga, you kick the right foot back, lower down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot lifts up this time, inhaling. Exhale, stepping the foot down in between the hands. We inhale up into our lunge pose. Holding here 2 breaths. Again, just getting this other side of the body warm. Just prepping the body with all these postures and poses. Really just to, balance it out. There's I'm a big advocate of active flexibility, not passive. So this is what we're doing. Exhale, hands at heart center, warrior 3. 2 breaths here. Strengthening that leg, getting some warmth here. Our bodies are rubber bands, so the warmer we are, the more we can, lengthen and stretch and decompress. On your next inhale, bring it up. Right knee lifts up to the ceiling. Let's find our pigeon pose here. So again, grab the knee with the right hand. Foot with the left hand, flex that foot. Give it a little rotation, just like you would for your triangle. Pull it up. Nice standing pigeon. You gotta love it. Keep breathing. Keep a steady gaze. So right here, we're working on our balance. And the pose, the posture itself. One more inhale. Steadily let go. Exhale, kick the right foot back. Inhale, drop it down slowly, reaching up lunge pose. And as you exhale, we're twisting to the left this time. We're gonna hold here 2 breaths. So stay here, chest is over your hips. Maybe you gaze back at that left hand. Challenge that balance. Let's flip the right hand, inhale, reverse it. 2 breaths. Keep breathing. Gotta love these warrior poses. Anytime you're using your legs, I'm sweating like a dog right now. I got it 88 degrees in here. Oh, wonderful. Exhale, right hand comes to the mat. Step that left foot back for your side plank pose. Hold here for the inhale. You might drive this left knee up. As you exhale, guide it to the top. We're finding our pigeon pose here. Same thing. You're gonna open up a little bit. So if your first round, you had more of a bent knee, we're working our way straighter. So bring it up 2 to 3 inches. Wrap the right hip down, square the hips up. Find some breath here. So as always, you just settle into a pose at first, and then bring some more awareness, bring some more engagement, and you might bring the hands up here. Oh, this feels good. Breathing full breath. Maybe inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, you might come into a forward fold on the forearms or down onto the chest. You might give a little wiggle left and right. Again, you're just feeling it yourself. You get deeper and deeper into these poses. And towards the end of this flow, we're going to do some more active stuff with our legs here. And that's what you're doing, because when you're trying to do a leg triangle on someone, you have active legs. You're pulling your foot hard. You're putting torque on your knee. There's a lot going on to where you can't just be able to get in that position. You got to be able to be in that position and use muscle, use your body, you know what I mean? Because once you get in that final position, people aren't just going to, stay still. You got to bring engagement. So that's where this is super important. You can do this flow a lot. Doing this flow weekly or a couple times a week, just going to help you so much and get you there. So go ahead and inhale, come on up. I'm going to quit rambling now. And then exhale, find your vinyasa. So you kick that left foot back, low chaturanga first. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, down dog. Finding a couple breaths here. Again, pedal it out. Play here with the hips. Feeling more loose here. Maybe sway left and right. Just whatever feels good. Wonderful. We're going to pick up the intensity of the stretches now. So let's inhale, bring this right foot up. As you exhale, plant that foot down in between the hands. We inhale into our lunge pose, reach it on up. Exhale, hands at heart center, warrior 3. As you inhale, let's come up into our mountain pose. This time, as you exhale, let's bring this ankle over the thigh and sit down here. So you can either have more of the shin or the ankle over the thigh. Doesn't matter. Just let the knee fall here. Again, getting the shape of the triangle that we want. Flexing the knee. Let's sit down to this right leg. So let's work here. And the deeper you sit, the deeper you feel the flex here. So again, when you're pulling this ankle, when you're rolling, trying to lock up your triangle, you need to be able to bring the activation. So from here, can you push down with your foot and then pull up with your foot? It's like you're doing, I'm not really moving here, it's more of a sensation, but just moving your leg without your hands, just kind of bringing some engagement, push and pull with it. Awesome. From here, exhale, fold forward. We're gonna keep the ankle where it is, keep a slight bend in this right knee, and just breathe here for a few breaths. So I got this ankle over here, it's still flexed. I'll spin for you. I'm just breathing here. So getting lower. Again, it's all about how the belly button drops forward. One more breath. Wonderful. As you bend at the hips, inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, bend the hips even more so you can stand up all the way. Find an inhale here in your mountain pose. And as you exhale, kick that left foot back for your warrior 3. Inhale, drop it slowly, reaching up, lunge pose. And as you exhale, warrior 2 this time. 2 breaths here. So you make sure you can still see that big toe in the right foot. We're breathing. Feeling good now. We got some good pigeons coming up. Flip the right hand, inhale, reverse it. Holding it. Staying deep in that right knee. Maybe drop that right hip crease a little bit more. One more inhale. As you exhale, right hand comes to the mat. Step the right foot back for side plank. Inhale here. Maybe draw the left knee up. As you exhale, bring it to the top for pigeon pose. Full pigeon. So, here, even I need the block. I definitely need the block. I'm not even nowhere close. But actually, before we bring the block here, go ahead and square. I'm gonna square up to you for this front camera. Put your shin parallel to the top of the mat. So that's what it looks like. And right here, you can see there's no way, I can't wrap my hips around either. Like I'm just not there. So I'm on my left hip. We wanna keep this shin parallel, bring the back foot where it should be, behind the heel, and start to round the right hip forward. So I'm just gonna feel into where I stop. And once you find that sweet spot, just kind of take note of it. Maybe rock left and right a little bit. Maybe you can feel a nice massage for that piriformis muscle. I feel it. And then from here, maybe you can, square up a little bit more. I'm almost there, but you know what? I'm gonna bring the block here. I think a lot of you are gonna need the block too. Been using the block for years now, and my pigeon pose is still just now getting there. So once you have the block underneath you, keep the shin square, and it's much easier to round the hip. So play around with it for a second. And once you get there, we're in a full pigeon pose where our shin is parallel. And if you feel good here, let's come on up. Bring the hands at our center. So now we got some activation. Again, the foot's flexed, it's always flexed. We're holding here a little bit longer this time, a lot more activation. Maybe reaching up, inhale with the hands. And you might even exhale, a little back bend. Hold it here, inhaling, just feeling the legs, feeling it, being more comfortable every breath. And then let's exhale, come into a forward fold. So maybe you come all the way down to forearms or chest, just like we've been doing, and pause. So once you're here, you give a little rock and left and right. And again, pulling the foot back. So here, a nice little push and pull you can do to make this an active, just moving the body in the shape that we want. So you don't come to this shape when you're rolling in a session with one of your buddies, and you come in this position and you try to tensen up a certain part of your leg, and that's when things snap, they pull. So you want to prep the body here when we're in practice. So on your next inhale, let's make our way back up. And we're going to exhale, bring that left foot all the way back. We're going to take our Chaturanga, flow all the way through. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, down dog. Wonderful. Pause for one breath here. Ooh, feeling good. This time, inhaling, left foot comes up this time. Exhale, step the foot down in between the hands. We inhale into our lunge pose. As you exhale, hands at heart center, lean forward, warrior 3. Inhale, we bring it on up. to our mountain pose, and we exhale, ankle over the thigh, sit back. Sit back and down, and same thing here. With this one, just giving a little push, a little pull, small micro movements. Once I sit down, you drop the belly button down. That's where you really feel that stretch here. So find one more breath. And on your next exhale, it's fold forward. Keep a bend in this left knee here so your ankle doesn't just slide right off. Keep dropping the belly button forward. Feeling that stretch in that piriformis muscle. I really like this pose a lot because it just gives you a lot of push here with the leg. On your next inhale, let's halfway lift up. On an exhale, bend the hips underneath us. Lifting up, inhale, come into your mountain pose. Exhale, kick that right foot back, warrior 3. Drop it down slowly. Inhale, lunge pose. As you exhale, come into your warrior 2. Holding here 2 breaths. I like to widen out my warrior 2, nice and deep. Squeezing the other parts of the legs. On your next inhale, let's lift this left hand up. Breathing here. Trying to reach that left hand up and away from that left hip crease. One more inhale. As you exhale, find a side plank, left hand down, left foot steps back. Find an inhale, bring this right knee up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring that shin to the top of the mat, parallel to the front. Same thing here. So your shin's parallel, left foot's where it should be. Start the process of wrapping the left hip down and feel where you stop. So I'm a little bit more flexible on this side, maybe you might be too. But if you feel like you stopped really early, get the block underneath the thigh. We're gonna hold here. Get comfortable for a moment, wiggle left and right if you need. And then we're gonna bring the hands up. This is the real part, where you bring some activation to the legs to hold yourself up. So let's inhale, bring the hands up to the ceiling. Maybe you exhale, lean it back some more. Pause for an inhale. And then exhale, it's coming to a forward fold, down to the forearms, or bring the chest all the way down. And here again, this foot is just gonna push and pull, giving a little bit of awareness here in the quad and then the hamstring. And again, this is really just to protect the body, because once you end up, you catch someone in the triangle, they're still moving. You still gotta engage, you still gotta push and pull, use your leg muscles while you're in that really flexible spot. You know, for some people, they're really straining themselves to even get into the spot. So this is what this is for. This is why you're here with me. So one more breath here. Again, pushing, pulling, bringing awareness, and the more you do these little movements, your body's just like, okay, we're used to being here. So let's inhale, start to make our way back up. And as you exhale, kick the right leg back, find your Chaturanga. And then inhale, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Great, we're gonna gaze between the hands, jump or float through. We're just gonna sit down onto our butt and lie onto our back. So what we're gonna do is bring this right ankle onto the left thigh. And we're gonna grab this left thigh or shin, and we're gonna push this right knee away from us. Just very gentle push. Just to open up that right hip. And find 1 or 2 breaths doing this. You feel this nice opening in that right SI joint. Great, and go ahead and let go of the right hand. Reach through the legs and pull either the hamstring or the shin closer to the chest. And here you just get your full stretch. And it's gonna prep us for our final stretching pose for our legs, which is our lying pigeon. So we're just gonna grab this foot and grab the leg, let the left leg drop. If you can, this is bonus points. If you can curl and cradle the leg, again, this is only if you have, a knee that is not super injured and you have decently flexible hips, you can do that. But if not, we stay here. And if your hips are super tight and you have knee injuries, maybe triangle poses or triangle chokes with the legs aren't what you want to do. But never say never. From here, find your last couple breaths. If you can find that cradle position, that's great. Yeah, that's a good stretch. One more breath here. slowly let go. We switch sides. Left ankle over the right thigh. Hug it on in. Either grab the thigh or the shin with the right hand. And with the left hand, we just give a gentle push with the left knee. Feeling the left hip open up. Let's find another breath here. And then when you're ready, left hand shoots through. Grab the hamstring or the shin on the right leg. Hug it into the heart. So we just breathe here. Again, prepping us for that final pose. And here, something that I want to bring up, I didn't bring up on the last side, is this knee, it points outward. We don't want this knee to start coming inward like this, because now we're coming to our final pose. When we come into a triangle pose and we lock it up, our knee is never facing towards us. It's always opened out. So if I had this on the other side and I lock up my triangle here, my knee is facing that way. I'm never going to lock it up with my knee facing this way and my ankle going over top. I have to have this shape. So remember that. So as you hug this in for your last couple breaths, keep that knee going to the left side. You find your shape whenever you're ready. And breathe. So this is the final peak pose. You should really feel it. One more breath. And then slowly make your way out. Maybe shake out the knees and legs. You might just drop left and right. Nice little ending lubrication for the hips. And go ahead and sit on up. I'll meet you in a comfortable seated pose. And bring your feet out in front of you. You've probably done this before. Just drop the knees left and right. So again, last little lubrication. And if you can do it without any hands on the ground, that's great. Just going side to side. One more time. Just getting that last bit of movement. And that's great. Whenever you're ready, you're good to go. Again, this is a good flow. It's going to get you close to that leg triangle choke. But if you do have injured knees, just be super careful with this in general, like with anything. Your knees are they only go about 6 to 8 degrees, left and right. Other than that, they're a hinge joint. They only go one way. So protect your knees and get those hips and piriformis muscle flexible so less, torque is on the knees and your hips can open up for you for this triangle choke. So hope this was good and fun for you. The BJJ community, I love you. I've been a part of it for about a year now. I wrestled my whole life, but I've had about a year of rolling with the gi on and stuff like that, and I love it. So much respect to all of you, and much respect to the leg triangle chokers out there, because it's my favorite choke right now. So I hope this helped you. Until next time, namaste.